Alright, new Lyrical Ride Line with a new keyword, and skipping the Kotiblaze stuff because I don't really care for them. So let's begin. So here's the starter, SweetLinker Hamstella. This doesn't have to be your starter, but you will kind of want it just for the name. In which we go to the grade 1 with AK power, SweetLinker Bonarmia, which has the skill of SweetLink, which is actually a state where if you have another card with the same name as this one from your soul, you're in SweetLink state. And all the SweetLinker units will have this skill. But to the Ride Line skill where auto when rolled upon by the grade 2 SweetLinker Squirra, look at top 10 cards from your deck to choose up to 2 cards. One goes to hand and the other goes to soul. Typical setup for the Ride Line. It's nice that you get from hand and set up from your soul as for SweetLink state. In which the second skill is Count Rearguard. If this card is in SweetLink state, plus 2k power active on your opponent's turn as well. For now, you might have to run it for the name just because you need SweetLinkers, but of course, you're just going to use this for the Ride Line. In which we go to the grade 2 with 10k power, SweetLinker Squirra, which has the SweetLink skill, and the skill for it will be Count Rearguard. If this card is in SweetLink state, it gets the boost ability. Might be for now you have to run it, but the main skill is for the Ride Line, where auto when rolled upon by a grade 3 SweetLinker, choose a card from hand and call it to Rearguard, and then search your deck for one card with the same card name and put it to soul, and then after that you draw a card. So basically you call something, and then after that it sets you up, and then after that you just further draw, which is actually pretty nice. In fact, it's a plus in your soul as well, so if you do need the soul for resources, you can, although you're just gonna keep everything to your soul because you want to be in SweetLink. In which we go to the grade 3 with 30 power, SweetLinker Verati, which has the SweetLink skill, and yes, you can even do it by persona riding, but unfortunately you are in a way gonna lose your persona ride as well because you will lose one copy, especially for the main skill where auto Vanguard, soul charge 1, and then perform the ability based on the soul charged unit. And in addition, if you are in SweetLink state, all your front row units get plus 5k power into the end turn. So if you soul charge a trigger unit, this card gets a crit, and all your front row units gets plus 5k power into the end turn. For non-trigger units, it gets plus 10k power and a triple drive ability into the end of turn. In a way, it feels like Great Nature with Lottery again because it's based on what card is on the top, but overall both skills are pretty decent. I just don't like the extra bonus lock to SweetLink state. Luckily, you can use the soul charge skill to get some extra bonuses. It's just the little SweetLink part because it is losing a persona ride practically. But it also has one additional final skill which was not something I expected, where auto Vanguard at the end of your turn, counterblast 1, return 6 SweetLinker units with different names from your soul to your deck, and then choose a card from your damage zone and heal it, and of course shuffle your deck. Realistically, you might only pull this skill off once, as your Ride Line will give you at least 2 cards to soul, and your Ride Line already includes 3 cards, so that will be a total of 5 cards by the time you hit grade 3, and if you could get your 6th one in your first grade 3 turn, that can be pretty nice, but usually you will need it in your second grade 3 turn, as by that time you're going to have more damage. But this is just overall a skill I was not expecting, just a straight up heal, but with a pretty high condition, and a card that basically just does lottery. But do be careful with the heal skill, as you're going to be losing your SweetLinker state, since you're going to need to reset everything after using the skill. And now to the support, we start off with SweetLinker Pachin, which is a grade 1 with power and the skill is. Has a SweetLink skill with the skills of auto when discarded from hand. During your turn, you may put this unit to soul, which will be important for the next skill where Act Soul. If you have at least a grade 3 SweetLinker Vanguard, while this card is in SweetLink state, so meaning that there must be this one in soul and another one on the field. Cost, put this card to your drop zone, and then choose a SweetLinker with a different card name from this one and put it to soul. Not only that this is discard fodder, but you could technically use it to basically swap out for actual SweetLinker units that you want. But at the moment, this is basically more like filtering because you don't really have that many SweetLinker units, and it's another card that you could just use as a discard fodder if you need to. And then we go to SweetLinker Altina, which is a grade 2 with 10k power and the skill is. Has a SweetLink skill and has the unique skill where auto when placed on rearguard or placed to guardian from your hand, choose a SweetLinker unit from your drop zone and put it to your soul, which will of course set you up for your SweetLinker plays. In which the last skill is Count Rearguard Guardian. If this card's in SweetLink state, plus 5k power and 5k shield, active on your opponent's turn as well. Mainly here just to set up your soul, as that's always very helpful, especially for this deck, but it's also nice that you can beat down and use as extra defense if you need it. And then we go to SweetLinker Secure, which is a grade 2 with 10k power and the skill is. Has a SweetLinker skill and also Count Rearguard. If your Vanguard is at least a grade 3 SweetLinker, plus 5k, and if you're in SweetLink state, plus another 5k. Easy big beater with the last skill, which is actually pretty useful and could even set up this skill. Auto Rearguard, at the end of battle, this unit attack the Vanguard. If your Vanguard is a SweetLinker, put this to soul to draw a card. Basically, it could set up its own skill while also basically kind of giving you more soul at the same time and more draw power. What's not to love? And then we go to SweetLinker Power Get, which has the SweetLink skill, and then count rearguard during your turn if this card is in SweetLink state plus 5k power for all other units in the same column as this unit. So basically it's the main attacker, which does help if you have a restanding rearguard, by the way, but you mainly use it for the second skill, and it could even set up for this skill where auto at the end of battle this unit boosts. If your Vanguard's a SweetLinker, put this to soul to countercharge 1. So once again, soul setup and more countercharging, which could be very helpful. And for now, from what I could see, the deck doesn't use that much counterblast, but in the future you might need it. And finally, SweetLinker Likori, which is a grade 2 with 10k power and has the SweetLink skill with the next skill, auto rearguard when placed. If your Vanguard's a SweetLinker, choose a card from your drop zone and put it to your soul, and then cost energy bonus 3, look at top 5 cards of your deck to choose up to 1 card from among them and call it to rearguard. And then of course shuffle your deck, and then if your opponent's Vanguard is at least a grade 3 SweetLinker, while this card is in SweetLink state, both this and the called unit gets was 5k. This is already absurdly good because it just absurdly pluses you by calling something, of course, and also choice soul charges for free, which is always very nice. And additional, you also get extra power. But what makes this even better is literally the next skill, because auto rearguard, when you're at least grade 3 SweetLinker attacks, cost counterblast 1 to stand this unit and plus 5k power in the end turn. Typical restanding rearguard that just stands itself. This is just a must run as it's your main multi-attack engine, also being your superior call engine, and also free soul charge if you need to. And of course, being your main restander is going to cost you the most counterblast, so good thing there's a counter charge for the deck. And then next week we got more promos, this time with a Night Rose and Harry promo as well, which I'm excited to see. And so that's it for this new SweetLinker Ride Line. What do you guys think of it? Honestly, it wasn't something I was expecting, considering that it was supposed to be heal related, and I was expecting more Angel Feather, but instead we got more of something like Liael Morta, where you need duplicates in a certain area. In this case now, you need one in the soul. But not only that, the heal skill for the main grade 3 was a little bit of a surprise, but we got the lottery mechanic instead of putting it from the drop, you just put it into the soul. I can say this is an interesting take, but considering how Liael Morta run, it might run some consistency issues as you're going to be needing to run 4 copies of certain cards. But in that's it for this, and see you next time.